Hi, I'm Boruch Rabinowitz, making a difference for the Jewish people. And today we're going to be talking about number 7 of the 48 ways, which is in Ethics of Our Fathers in Pirkei Avot, chapter 6, Mishnah 6, the 6th chapter and the 6th Mishnah. And there it lists 48 ways to acquire Torah, to really live fully. And the rabbis say that humility is an essential ingredient in order to live fully. Ba'anava, humility. So what is it? How do we define it? How do we go about getting it? And why do we need it? But first see that humility has a bad rap. We think, it's good and it's bad. It's, on the one hand, a humble person is very admirable. On the other hand, we imagine somebody coming into a room, their head down, very meek, going into the corner. But really, that's not humility. That's just a bad PR, because humility is the essence of greatness. The way you can see it sometimes, a definition, is to look at the opposite side. The opposite of humility is arrogance. When an arrogant person walks into the room, it's all about me. It's all about them. You don't count. Everything is about me. So that's the opposite of humility. Humility it's not about me. It's about what's true, what's truth, what's justice, what's meaning. I don't count. What the right thing is to do is the thing that matters. You take yourself out, and it's just the right thing to do. The second aspect of it is that you really don't have any power. This is hard to live with, and unless you really live with the fact that there is a God. But ultimately, God has all the power. We have no power. And the reason why this 48 way of humility is so great is because we know when we see people that are striving for truth and know that it's really that God has the power, it actually gives you more power. It's real charisma, because you're not focused on you and your limitations. We're not focused on who we are. We're focused on something much greater, much out of ourselves. And when we define ourselves, what we can do, we're limited by our definition of what we can do. But if we're somebody who believes in God, and we know that God has the ultimate power and can do anything, and we know that if we tap into that and we believe that even God can get me through my self-limitations, my insecurities, my what I think I really can accomplish. Because really, what does God want from us? He wants us all to be great and to use our potential, and He wants to help us. And if we acknowledge that and we tap into that, we can also become great. So one of the ways that we have to guard ourselves from becoming arrogant is to realize that we all take pride in our accomplishments and our physical traits. I mean, on the lowest level, somebody says, I can eat 10 steaks and not get sick. So what? Okay, so you have a good physical constitution. That's great. So what are you so proud of? God gave you that. But it's really more. If you take pride in that you're smart, you're perceptive, that you have good taste, that you've gotten a degree, you've gotten a PhD or a master's or an MBA, that when we feel a pride of that, we tend to feel that I'm so important. Now, you might say, well, of course I feel proud. But really, from a Jewish point of view, we need to take pleasure, not pride. Thank God. Have gratitude that that I have a good constitution. I'm physically well. Thank God that I am bright. Thank God that I am perceptive. Thank God that I'm successful in business. Thank God that, I've been able to accomplish this so much. Take pleasure, not pride. I heard a good story by Rabbi David Asher. He was talking about a very successful business person a businessman, very successful, very wealthy, and he had a lot of people underneath him who were saying, tell me, what is the secret of your success? He said, God is really the secret of my success. Everything is in the hands of God. No, really, tell us, how did you become so successful? Really, I'm telling you, it's really God. And they kept pressing him, tell us, why did you become successful? How did you make that deal in England? He goes, oh, that deal. Let me tell you what happened. It was amazing. I got these two people. I hooked them up. We had and he became very wealthy from that deal. He couldn't resist because he felt rather than taking pleasure, he took pride. When you take pride, you feel it's me, and you become actually less. If you want to become more, take pleasure, not pride, and be very thankful to God. Be very thankful that you're able to accomplish so much. There's so much more to talk about, and I'll just give a few more points because we have a tendency to, because really what we're striving for inside, we all are striving to do the right thing. We will give up our lives to do the right thing. People give up their lives to do the right thing. People are searching for meaning to their existence. What is life all about? It's just driving us. We want this existential meaning. We want to do what's right. We're willing to give up our lives if we found the right cause. And that really is something that is beautiful and powerful. But the flip side of it is that sometimes the people who are the most arrogant are the people who think they're doing the right thing because they justify killing many people, harming many people because they're doing the right thing. It's not easy to be a good person. Many people define being good as not hurting others, but you have to actively pursue what is good every single minute of your life to be a good person. What is the definition? What's the right thing to do here? It takes thought. It takes consciousness. You can't be influenced by society. You have to be independent. So how do we become more humble? So one of the ways is that we can ask ourselves, one of the things that we have to realize is that we're a soul, not a body. The soul strives for meaning. The soul strives for humility. The body wants to feel, I'm so good, I'm so proud of myself, I'm a big guy, big person. But that's the body, that's not really the soul. I'm going to tell you something. It's very interesting. When you meet people, it happens to all of us. We're guilty of this, and other people are guilty of this. When you meet people for the first time, if you really listen carefully, I'll tell you a secret. They will tell you what they're proud of. It will come out. Oh, my children are doctors, or I did a good business deal, or I have a doctorate, or I'm rich, or I'm smart, or I'm able to accomplish so much. It doesn't come out so dramatic, but sometimes it's subtle, and you see that people really need that. Not to put down people. The point is for ourselves that we need to really realize that we have so much blessings, and if we tap into doing the right thing, if we tap into the ultimate pleasure source, ultimate power source, it's a real tool to become great, achieve our potential. And for Torah, a person needs to get out of themselves to get the beauty and the objectivity of Torah, to let it seep in. And the rabbis say that if you just focus on the message and get your ego out of the way, the message will come through. It's very powerful. So we talked a little bit about humility. There's a lot more to discuss. But for that, I just want to thank you for all listening. I hope that you liked it. And if you did, please pass it on. Check out my website, BoruchRabinowitz.com.